Welcome along to episode 53 of the Don Michele sponsored A View from Section C. Senior, it is. Now I'm trying to figure this out in my head now. This is the penultimate season episode tonight. This week.
I think it could be.
So we've got one more. We've got one more preview. And then we'll review that game, but that's the last games we'll preview is next week's games. So technically, kind of the penultimate show.
So
I'm saying it is.
We've got Nottingham, Guildford, and then we'll review them and preview Fife and Belfast.
And then it's end of season show,
which is the end. It's the end of the season show.
The end of the season, for fuck's sake.
But Dick.
Now, before we go any further, we were meant to address this last week, and I never. For all of our listeners out there that knows Arlene, she does not watch Ant and Dec. She gave Senior a hard time at the rink about it, and she does not watch Ant and Dec.
See, my response to that would be, why is she not watching Ant and Dec? Because I'll tell you, sometimes on a Saturday night, they are more entertaining. I'll tell you. So we will have our end of the season show.
End of the season show. How's your week been? Well, how's your week been? Because it was last Tuesday we did this as well. It's been a full week.
Exactly, a full week. 7 days. 7 days.
Yep.
Yeah. 7 days of shit, as we called it.
Wasn't 7 days this week of shit? It was only 6.
Yeah, it was only 6. It's been no bad, Junior. As you know, I just keep ducking and deving, You know what I mean? I've made a living out of this, ducking and deving. Got away with it for 25 years in the cash, and I've now got away with it for 12 years in Argentina, ducking and deving.
If you could dodge a wrench, you could dodge a ball.
I'll tell you, walk about with a bit of paper in my hand, that does me a clipbort. How are you doing? I'm busy. You know what I mean? And I'm away.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a lot of boys in your place that does that.
I'll tell you.
I'll no name names on it, but there's a lot of boys in your place that does that.
What, we're not speaking about Uncle Steve?
No, Uncle Steve's fine. It was mere somebody that's name could be translated to Dick.
I'm not going down that road. That road, just in case. Nah, it's been okay. It's been busy as usual. I keep saying it every week. You ask me, your wife will tell you how busy we are. Well, how busy she is. We're not busy because she keeps hudding us up. That's the whole process. Is
dinner,
you know what I mean?
Like dinner. No, the week.
She'll not hear this. We're not recording yet, are we? So I'm okay.
No, we are. It's also in today. I've just back from AB. I was in seeing early for some treatment before I go to Ireland with the basketball. So a wee bit of R&R. So we'll call it R&R. And she was praising my socks.
Listen,
and I'm gonna.
You call it R&R. I just call it bullshit.
Fuck off.
Right? Your age, fucking injured.
No, it's no injury. It's just keeping it fresh. Fucking keeping the muscles going. But anyway, she was praising my socks, and I'm going to show you my socks. Bright orange Dragon Ball Z from Stacey Anderson for my Christmas. It is World Down Syndrome Day today, and at work we had to wear bright coloured socks or odd socks. That's the thing that they do to celebrate World Down Syndrome Day. So I was getting praised about my socks. I've got bright fluorescent United orange socks on.
So I've got Star Wars ins.
Okay.
I've got.
Are they bright coloured?
No, just black. But on each side it's got a wee head. So it's
that's
Stormtrooper or wee Yoda and stuff like that.
Got them as well, but they're shit. No for this. It's got to be bright socks and odd coloured socks. So yeah, World Down Syndrome today. So we were obviously doing that in the work in that as well. Being a caring learning disabilities service I was in today. So yeah, it was good. But yeah, shout outs and call outs. Let's start the show. It is actually a happy start to the show. I don't believe there is any call outs.
No,
It's all shout-outs.
We can't even call out Danny Stewart.
No. So there's
going
your
on?
first shout. There's our first shout-out
Danny
to
Stewart.
Danny Stewart.
Shocking.
So those of you who know Stoney likes to give Danny a hard time about being bald. Every season since the season he killed the Newcastle Vipers, Stoney brought up a gift bag for Danny at the weekend. It was also, did you notice the gift bag was covered in stars? That was also his little tribute. It had a "See You Jimmy" hat in it, so he had some hair, and he also had a mug in it which said "Bald Lives Matter." Danny refused to engage at the start of the game with the bag, so Stoney went over the plexi and hung it on the plexi for the entire game, to which we then told Danny to remember his present as he walked off, and give him his due, he did have a bit of a laugh, and he joked and asked if it was a bomb to begin with. And then he had a quick peek inside, and I think he maybe saw the "See You Jimmy" hat and burst out laughing and said that he goes, "I think this bag's just going to take the piss." But you know what? Fair play to him. He took it on the chin. Danny Stewart has always been a grumpy fucker whenever he's been in Dundee, and he's never really had a laugh with the fans. Like, you know, when the season's done, you're always still giving him a bit of abuse and that, and it's just all good humour. But he took it this time. He took it, and he took it on the chin, and he walked away laughing about it.
I think that's the first time I've ever seen Danny laughing in Dundee. Dundee fans. He's normally either just blanks everybody, or he's just fucking giving everybody shit and telling everybody to shut the fuck up. But no, give Danny due on Sunday night. He had a bit of a laugh. And saying that though, they just sort of put us in our place. So he was probably happy enough. I think I've read about them again. I don't think he took it.
No, but again, they've got nothing to play for now. Like they're finishing fifth. They can't finish higher. They can't finish lower. They've got nothing to play for the last few games. So it's just like, you know, okay. Let's get ourselves ready for playoffs. And who they're
exactly.
Obviously, it's going to be fourth place. Whoever's going to finish in fourth. So, shout out to Danny Stewart. I never thought I'd say that on this show. You have a shout out as well. Someone followed through. Somebody followed through on their bet.
Yep, that was Mikey Kidd. We had the bet about Stars winning or something away from home. Or something. I can't even mind what the bet was, but the bet was he would step up with baked goods if he lost the bet, and he lost the bet, and he stepped up with baked goods. So I think there was a pizza slice. There was a yum yum.
Yep.
There was
maple and pecan thing.
Was it? There's yep. So
delightful.
There were actually.
It was good. Went to a treat.
But then after that, it's like we could probably spend the whole show now doing shout outs, because after Mikey had come in with the baked goods, the brownie girls
became the cookie girls.
And now the cookie girls now turned up with chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
And then Gillian Brand turned up with homemade brownies and homemade white chocolate cookies, I think.
White chocolate and raspberry cookies and Mars bar brownies. It was just, and they were all just kind of like, what the fuck? And the best bit is when we got home, Shannon said, "Yous are taking advantage of people now." We're not taking advantage. We had a little bit of a joke with the brownie girls, and it's just escalated. And there's a rumour.
That's right.
There's a strong rumour going around Dundee Ice Arena at the weekend that Margaret Muggy McFergo is turning up with a party Susie this weekend. If we have a party Susie at the ring, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. In between the periods, this is how interesting the game must have been, because nobody spoke about the game in between periods 1 and 2 and 2 and 3, right? It started off with, so what's your go-to cake? Really, what's your go-to cake? And then, what's your favourite flavour of crisps?
Aye.
What do you normally have on your toast? what's your favourite thing on your toast?
I wasn't involved in any of this. I never heard this conversation.
Oh, well, you missed it then, right? And it kept going and going. Next thing, the second period started. And then it gets to the third period, end of the second and start of the third, and it starts again. And it's like, what do you like? Do you hate like a digestive biscuit with butter and cheese on it?
Oh, for fuck's sake!
And then, have you had cheese on shorty? And then that's when the party Susie came out, and it was like somebody's turning up here. The next home game, Guildford on Saturday. We're going to have the picnic rug out. We'll lift all the sets up. We'll put the picnic rug out in the middle of section C, and the party Susie's will be out. And
the Stuart rug.
Stuart rug will be out on in front of the sets, and we'll just sit on the picnic rug, and we'll just have a wee picnic during the game.
Oh, if there's a party Susie,
I'm telling you,
at the hockey. Honestly,
so
and
Kim, what I'm going to say this, right? We do appreciate all the cakes that are being getting brought up, right? But we need to stop, right? We do need to stop.
Well,
nah, listen,
it stops me going for a McDonald's on the way home.
We're getting a bit of jip for this now, right? With the cakes, right? You said it earlier. We're getting a wee bit. Shannon's, you're taking advantage. Didn't bring any more cakes, guys, right? We didn't need any more cakes, okay? However, if you're willing to make sandwiches...
No, can I request that if we're making sandwiches, no tuna, because it affects my gout.
All right, okay. Yeah. And the one that people looked at me was when I said that on toast, and I could hit on a sandwich as well. I'm toast or a sandwich, I'm not caring. Butter, strawberry jam, cheddar cheese, game changer.
Right, okay.
There it goes.
So, the 51 Club sponsored game review. So we were at Sheffield Steelers on the Wednesday night. I'm moving on. I have to. We're coming up for 15 minutes in, and you just talked pish there. Cheese and jam on a sandwich, man.
Outstanding.
Away at Sheffield on the Wednesday, and then we had our home and home against the Coventry Blaze. So Sheffield Stars took a 1-0 lead down at the Utilita Arena, Sheffield. Philippe Songe assisted by Ryan Verrier. That's been changed. That was originally Barriga.
Because it was Barriga, I think.
Yep. And Johnny McBean at 12:24.
We called it junior. We called it. Put on me Songe and Barriga.
Yeah, see what happens. Sheffield Steelers equalised through that wee dick at 35:50. And then Brendan Connolly, the other wee dick, scored at 52:36 on the power play to give Sheffield a 2-1 victory. Not the worst of results down there. It was pleasantly surprising to see us leading after the first, tying after the second. But again, can't see it out. Again, it's a difficult venue, and it's a difficult team. But from the reviews that I read, and now this could just be the entitled Sheffield fans, the reviews that I read from Sheffield fans were, it's the worst game they've saw all season. Dundee didn't really want to go forward. They didn't have many shots on goal. I think it was just into double figures. I'm not too sure. I didn't check it.
I thought it was about 11 or 13 shots.
Something like that. And they said it was just a boring game, and Sheffield didn't have to get out of second gear. Once they got the 2-1 up, they kind of coasted home because they knew that we weren't really pushing for it.
Yeah.
Well, whether or not that's just the entitled, I can't speak for it because I didn't watch. I refused to buy a webcast for Sheffield, and from reading all the comments, especially for people like Stella Young, and that had got the stream was absolutely abysmal. And it was sitting buffering for nearly fucking 2.5 periods. So then I think anybody from Dundee was able to get a review of the game because of how bad their stream was. But yeah, not a bad result for me. I would have happily accepted a 2-1 loss in Sheffield.
Yeah, I think
again it's the manner of the defeat. If it is that
when I seen the score coming through and we were 1-0 up, I thought, okay. And then at the end of the second, I'm thinking we're going to collapse in the third here, and we never. And the longer it went on in the third, I'm thinking, we're taking it overtime here, or we're going to sneak it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a penalty gets called, the score on the power play. But I think we said it either last week or a couple of weeks ago about Robert Dowd. If you look at his stats, right, they're no massive stats for Dowdy this year.
No.
Yet he turns up with 1+1 against us, and it kills the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a better scoreline than what I thought it was always going to be.
Well,
like I thought we had them getting about 5-1 and 6-1 or something like that. We had them getting
so Senior did say 6-1 Sheffield, and I said 7-1.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
We got the one right.
We got the one right. But yeah, and I thought Coach Mason got it right. I thought he started the right netminder doing there.
Yeah.
I thought putting Anton in was the right thing to do after Britton had played the weekend. And he played very well. By all accounts, he played really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
He came out with quite a high save percentage, which was fantastic and great to see. But the problem is, it's too late.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah. So it brings us into, obviously, Anton playing on the Wednesday night. It then has a big decision to make for Coach Mason of who starts the Coventry away game. Britton in great form. Not picked up the wins, but he's been in great form, and he's stood out as could have been a lot worse had it not been for him. Anton then goes in and only a 2-1 loss against the Steelers. He starts Anton in Coventry, and the Stars get their first win. And I was going to say their first win in however many games, but there was too many L's to count in a row that I was getting my L's all mixed up, and I lost count, so I just gave up with it. So Stars got off to an unbelievable start. Philippe Songe, assisted by Barriga at 7:39, gave him a 1-0 lead at the end of the first period. Songe scored his second, assisted by Dryndow and Naslund at 20:24. Some start for us at the start of the second period. It's usually the other way around. Philippe Songe got his hat-trick, assisted by Hugo Reinhardt at 22:16. 22:43, Ben Soke put the Stars 4-0 up, assisted by Eriksson and Dow. Coventry then started their little bit of a comeback. John Curran at 23:21, so a quick-fire goal after we go 4-0 up. The boy that pretends to be Jerzy Dudek, 38-38, making it 4-2. End of the second period. Tom's Rutkiss, great to see him on the score sheet, assisted by Songe and Moore at 54:06. And then Curran with a consolation goal at 55:12, giving the Stars a 5-3 victory in the land of the Chavs.
Yeah. What a result. What a result.
You know what?
It was totally unexpected.
I was just going to say, it's unexpected for me, because we always struggle in
totally
Coventry. Always.
Totally unexpected. I think I'd say is that we would probably lose that game, and we could have won the home game. But it was more than welcome. Even more so on the Saturday night that Fife got beat, Glasgow got beat, and we're thinking, oh, here we go. Are we suddenly going to turn the screw here? Glasgow have got to play Fife the next night. We've got Coventry at home. Could we pick up a 4-point weekend? We were hoping that Glasgow would have beat Fife, which they did, but we had to win the game. And you begin to get a wee bit of positivity back again. I think, again, the coach, I thought he made the right call based on how Anton played in Sheffield a couple of, or 2 or 3 nights before. I thought it was the right thing to do. He'd obviously played well. He then goes into Coventry and plays really well and gets another win. But out of the whole thing of winning in Coventry, 2 things stand out for me. Is obviously Songe's hat-trick, right? This is the positive things. There are negatives. the positives are Sanchez hat-trick and Tom Rotkus chipping in again when required. And he tends to do it in big games on the road.
Yeah.
And, he probably only played and got as many shifts as he did because Chris was injured. Or, well, we think Chris is injured. We don't know.
Yeah.
Unless...
Yeah. There's nothing came out to say that Chris is injured, but
he
the fact he didn't play
weekend,
Saturday and didn't play Sunday.
I'm going to assume he's injured. And then you go back to 6 D-men again. So you go back to 6 D-men.
Yep.
We didn't get a too many men call. And is it because the lines are settled again? And everybody knows when they see somebody going on, it's my line to go on.
You know what? I've had a little look back about these too many men, okay? And I had a conversation with somebody about it the other day, and it... Yeah, the line mix-ups don't help, but if you watch our forwards don't jump the bench a lot. Our forwards all come through the door rather than jumping the bench.
I'm not paying attention to that.
Just have a look. It was something I picked up, and someone else mentioned it to us, and I got in a conversation about it with them, and I notice it more now that it's been brought to my attention that the forwards use the door. Now it's fine in what period are we in? First and third we shoot up the way. So the second period when we're shooting down the way, it's fine coming off at the door because the D-men jump. But first and the third period when it's flipped on the bench, we might jump on
everybody's
and jump back.
Yeah. Everybody's going through the door because the D-men will go through the door.
Yes. Yeah. And that's where, because I remember the one that when Leidsman was at the door and we called it, and I was going fucking mental at the line for calling. I'm like, he's at the fucking door. Like, he's trying to get off. But is that why? Because a forwards came on through the door or whatever. Or he's coming on, because the forward's coming through the door to go on the bench. Yeah. Just something to have a watch, like at the game at the weekend and next weekend, just to see if it happens again. Someone brought it up, and I thought, very interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, carry on.
Yeah, massive win, massive win for me. Totally unexpected, as I said.
Yeah,
and I was really, really positive going into the Sunday night game.
Yeah. So in that game, the Saturday night game, you had predicted a 5-2 loss, and I had predicted a 6-1 loss. So
yeah,
we're both completely wrong.
Yeah, well wrong, and happy to be proved wrong.
Yes.
The only negative that I've got, right, is even though we went 4-0 up, when we went 4-0 up, they scored within seconds again.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? That you see that a lot in the NHL. If a team go maybe 4 or 5-0 up, unless it's fucking Pittsburgh, if teams go 4 or 5-0 up, the other team tends to score relatively quickly because either the lapse of concentration of them thinking, fuck, we're 4-0, 5-0 up, or it's we need to get back in the game, bang, there's a goal. I kind of understood that one. I'm not making excuses for it, but I kind of understood us conceding that one quite quickly after it. But again, it's a tale of the season, is it? The quick goals right after we score or the starts of the period.
Yeah.
And
it was the same. It was the same at the end. We went 5-2 up, and then they made it 5-3 again. So,
but
it's not going away, is it?
Speaking of quick goals, it brought us into Sunday with for me, the strange decision to continue with Anton in goal. We hosted the Blaze, and it was a 6-3 loss. Peyton Franti at 2:46 put Coventry 1-0 up. Dryden equalised, assisted by Naslund and Barriga at 10:16. Mitch Cook put Coventry 2-1 up at 13:17. Sonch equalised, assisted by Reinhardt and Barriga at 18:53, giving it a 2-2 draw. Ended of the first period. Going into the second period, Alex Forbes puts Coventry 3-2 up at 28:54. Carter Folk equalised, assisted by Ericsson and Dow at 30:16. And then Tyler Kirkup, 32-39. John Kern at 38-37. And then Mitch Cook in the third and final period at 43-55, giving the Blaze 60 win and taking 2 points back down to the land of the Chavs. Disappointing. Very disappointing.
Bish. Simple as that. Bish. Was
Bish.
not good enough. Absolute shocking performance after what they'd done on the Saturday night.
Yeah.
And I listened to the coach's interview. There's players banged up. They've had a few games.
There is illness as well, I believe, in the camp. There is people down with flu.
Yeah.
And that is going round, to be fair, because Mum's got it.
Yep. Yep.
But
I'll tell you, every team in this league will be banged up just now.
Yeah.
That's the be all and end all on it, Junior. Every club will be banged up just now. And I'll tell you, Glasgow Clan will be banged up, right?
Langed.
And short benched. Yet they could still put in performances for fighting for their playoff lives. And that is the most disappointing thing for me.
Yep.
I know that they had a game in Sheffield. They had a game 3 nights later in Coventry. Then they've got to come back up the road and play again. Then we're back to Nottingham. Then we've got Guildford away at home, then away. Listen, somebody makes that schedule. They've known what the schedule was going to be. They've known for day one what the schedule was going to be. They knew it was going to be tough.
Yep. But again, and that's where, for me, I think Jeff got it wrong for me on Sunday.
I think Britton should have played.
Yeah, Britton should have been the starter.
Yeah.
And regardless of how amazing Anton maybe played on the Wednesday and the Saturday, we had concerns at the start of the season about the amount of games that Anton was expected to play. And this isn't any dig at Anton.
No, I'm the same. I'm exactly the same.
It's from the league that he's come from. They don't play as many games. They don't play as quickly, and the turnover of games like what we do in the Elite League. Like this week and last week, we've got game Wednesday, double header, game Wednesday, double header. That was the game that Britton should have probably started to give Anton the breather. And for me, this isn't me having a dig at Anton. I don't think he was on his game at all on Sunday. No. And like the first goal, I don't know what was going on there. And then there was a couple after it, and you think, I think he's knackered.
I was speaking to a couple of people about it, and I think I put it on social media, and I was harsh, right, about him on that first goal, because I think it was quoted as saying, I thought he was going for chips and cheese. He was that far out of his goal. He was halfway at the cafe, and he just couldn't get back.
That woman thought he was abandoning his net again.
Yeah, that's how bad it was. And I think we say that we thought Britton should have started. What I'd have done, I'd have started Britton, and then I'd have started Anton and Nottingham again.
Yeah, exactly that.
And then see who was ready to go on Saturday at home to Guildford, and then flip it again on the Sunday for the away game. That's the way I'd have done it.
But I think it was an easy decision for the coach of he's in form for those two games. Played well, Sheffield. He's won. Got the win. Let's go again.
Yeah. But we all say, a lot of people say that when you look at Anton's games played over a season, he's never played as many games as this in any given season. So use your backup. You've got a good British backup there. Use them more. Don't tire your starter out, because you tire your starter out, your starter then makes mistakes. And Anton, he'll admit himself, there's probably a couple he would want back on Sunday night's game against Coventry. He'll want at least 2-3 of them back. And it could be mental fatigue that's doing it. he's making wrong
Yep.
decisions because he's tired.
Yeah. So I've actually got Anton's. The most games Anton's played in a season is 29. And that was 2017, 2018. And the time before that for 29 games was 10 years ago, 2012, 2013. This year alone, and this is only league stats, this year alone he's played 41 games.
There you go. And he's still got more to go yet.
Yeah. So, for me,
it's a tough season here, eh? It's a tough season for anybody.
It is.
And again, I'm not going into the debate about him and Shane Owen, right? But Shane Owen is probably the only other goalie that does this, right?
Yeah.
And I think that is probably because Fife don't trust the backup.
No, and they never have. They never have. Hence why a lot of their back.
I don't like the last backup. Yeah, the last backup they went to was Blair Daly.
Yeah,
he was the last backup that they could rely on when their import got either injured or was off form or was tired. Every other team in the league will play their backup.
Yeah. Now, and Fife, I know we're kind of getting on Fife a bit here, but Fife could have played other backups that they had, like the Mars. You know what I mean? And they've went down south and doing a good job. But it's a strange one that we didn't use Britton to break up the schedule a little bit for Anton.
Sunday was very disappointing. Very disappointing.
Yeah.
Sunday night.
There's one part of the game in which I really didn't want to talk about it because it's like I'm absolutely slating the team, but it's the second time I'm going to speak about it this season. The first time was unfortunately when the arsehole that went to Nottingham, when he was captain, he was putting the boards head first and nobody done anything. Dryden was nailed along the boards. The puck had went. I don't think it was a penalty. It was just a big hard hit into the boards. That's your captain. That's also your assistant coach who bleeds these colours every single week.
Yep.
And nobody done anything. Again. Nope. It's your fucking captain, man. I didn't care who it was that went. I don't even care if it was somebody like a fucking Gagnon that had hit him. Somebody has to go. Somebody has to try and do something.
Yeah.
And I don't care if you get your tatties.
Yeah.
Stick up for your captain.
Yeah, definitely. We've said that before about Dryden getting planted on his arse and nothing happens. There was that one, and then there was also, I think it was nearer the end, with Songe, who another one who is beginning to bleed these colours, right, is the guy Lashinsky got involved with Songe and nobody done a thing. Now this guy is 6 foot whatever, right? And he's having a go at Songe, and we just skate away from it.
Yeah.
Someone has to change for next season, eh? And I know there's been debates. There's been debates on social media because people are saying that we shouldn't hate to go and do that. We shouldn't hate to go and fight. Well, you know what? Maybe we should. When your captain and your best players get planted on their fucking arse, then somebody go and stick up for them at least.
Listen, we saw it. I'm not calling him out, but I kind of am. Right? We saw it in the highlight package when we signed Cole Fraser of a couple of guys on the opposing team hitting his players and him making a beeline for them and dropping the gloves.
Yeah.
Why is that not happening? Again, it's your fucking captain. It's the guys that you say the bleed the jersey. They do.
Mm-hmm.
Dryden and Songe really are two guys that have always played for the logo on the front and no for their name on the back.
Yeah.
Dryden. There's always been, there was that. Dryden was going to eventually move on to Coventry after the first season with us. COVID hit, so he didn't move. He went away, and then he came back, and he's been with us since. Dryden could have easily made a name for himself and moved on. He probably still can, make a name
Yep.
for himself, and move
Yep.
on further in the league.
Yep.
But he's made a name for himself in Dundee, and he plays for the jersey, no for his name. He's not that type of. He's not the selfish type of player. Somebody's got to protect that massively.
Definitely.
How many times, and again, I compared something in the SNL the other week, and I'm going to compare it again. Billy Hogg wouldn't allow that to happen to any of these star players.
No.
There was somebody spearing the back of Sam McCluskey's leg in the Tigers game a few weeks ago. Billy jumped the bench and he never fought him. He just grabbed him and roughed him up a little bit and got kicked out for leaving the bench. The right call, but still, he went on and told him, "You're not fucking doing that."
Yeah, but also if you're using like the likes of Billy Hogg as an example, right? Even it doesn't even need to be your star player. It's if Billy sees somebody trying to take advantage of another player on his team, then Billy will go and sort it. And it's the same with the Tigers. Listen, we're no Tiger bashing here, right?
No.
Because the Tigers were the same. Because Stu does it as well.
Yeah,
Stu Barnett used to do it.
Yeah.
Stu does it. If anybody takes advantage of his players, Stu goes and sorts it out.
Same mind the boy. Was it the boy Kearney, the fighter boy? He did the same.
Yeah.
But another example of that was at the weekend. Dyson Stevenson.
Yep.
Now, whether or not Kibalati was slashing, spearing, whatever behind the play, Dyson Stevenson dropped the gloves. Kibalati didn't want to fight. Reece Harsh jumps in. Somebody jumps in to protect. Aye, but he jumps in to protect the better player, the star player, the guy that doesn't fight. That's what we need. We need that for somebody. And I don't care who the fuck it is.
No,
someone has to jump in there. Someone's got to jump in there. I'm not hating it anymore.
No,
there's only 2 weekends left.
You might find they'll be on that fucking ice at the weekend.
I doubt it, but okay.
It's mere chance your mum being on the ice than me.
Nah. So it was a loss. It was a disappointing defeat.
It was.
Which moves us on to the league table, which does show us still in 10th place, 5 points behind Fife with 2 games in hand, and 7. No, that's not right.
8 points.
It is 8 points behind Glasgow.
Yeah.
Couldn't do maths there.
And only 3 games.
3 games in hand. We do have, obviously, we'll come into the preview in a second. But the confirmation is, if the Stars lose on Wednesday and Glasgow beat Nottingham at home on Saturday, we are done. That is it. The season's done for us. Fife can still catch them. We can't.
Yeah, Junior.
So
we'll beat about the bush here, eh?
We need to win every game at the end of the season. It's going to happen.
Done. Season's done.
Season was done weeks ago, but still,
season's
mathematically,
done.
as Coach Mason has said, mathematically still possible, but mathematically it will be impossible if we lose on Wednesday and Glasgow win on Saturday. And they only have the one game at the weekend, so they can put it all in and go for
it. Yeah, and it's a Neil Black team against a Neil Black team.
Yep, and they definitely want to beat them after all the shit that's been that's went on this season with them in Nottingham and Neil Black. So yeah. Which brings us on to, because that is pretty ugly what happened there this season.
Yeah.
Brings us on to the good, the bad, and the ugly with Senior.
So I've got what the good was difficult this week because there was a lot of good things. There was other cakes that we got, they were good. Joking aside, it was good to see Johnny McBean getting his first pro point.
Team McBean.
Congrats to young Johnny for that. There was, and it's a toss-up, honestly, because I don't know what was bigger, was Saunch's 3+1 in Coventry or the actual Coventry win. So I think overall, the Saturday night game was the good.
Yeah.
Definitely. And it's probably been the good for the past few weeks now. The bad is there's just too many to mention nowadays. The performance on Sunday I thought was really bad, considering what we just done the night before. I thought it was really, really really poor. But we just weren't at the races, and Coventry were. And then the ugly is still that league table, and I'll be honest with you, I can't wait for this season to finish. I really can't. I'm really struggling. It's people get on about players going through the motions at this point in time, but I'll tell you, as fans, we're going through the motions as well now because it is a drag at times. And the Sunday games are not bad because they're early face-offs, but when it's a Saturday night game, right, and you're sitting waiting to leave the house, and then the adverts come on and they're telling you that Ant and Deck's ready to come on in about an hour. That's a big decision nowadays, eh?
When it's when it's a Sunday and it's an early face-off and you can still get home for El Clasico and watch Barcelona beat Real Madrid.
Yeah.
It's not too bad, but
could I say that? Could I say that was the good of the weekend then? El Clasico. And the ugly, the bad and the ugly also goes into Hunty because he does nothing but text me nowadays about the Penguins being shite. Honestly, he's the only boy that's.
I haven't even messaged you the day. I've not even messaged you the day.
I was surprised, but Mr. Hunt did. Yeah, he waited till I got him for work today. Normally, he got up in the morning, and I got up at 4:30, and I've got text messages out on my phone for Hunty. That's how bad and ugly it's getting nowadays. He's the only guy that's got a jersey for 31 teams in the NHL. Jason Fraser will back me up on this, by the way, right? Jason Fraser will back me up. He's the only guy that hangs his coat on 31 different pegs.
Has he got like a walk wardrobe for NHL tops?
That's it. That's the bad and ugly for this week.
Yeah. So we'll move on to the Craig Niche Decorators sponsored game previews. So obviously Nottingham Panthers. Obviously we're recording Tuesday, so tomorrow night. This will be put out on Wednesday because it is late and I've not had my tea yet. So Nottingham's been a team that we've not. I wouldn't say we've struggled against them this year. I actually think they've been a no bad matchup. We've just not had got the win in them. But they've not been a team that we've really struggled against. I think they're kind of similar to us, where, like you say, they're kind of going through the motions sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Shite.
Yeah,
well. Listen, we've said about a couple of teams this year, right? The worst Glasgow Clan team in Elite League history. And this is possibly the worst Nottingham Panthers teams that I've seen in Elite League history.
And it's funny because I actually think on paper they were stronger than last year's Nottingham Panthers team.
So yep. But when they get guys like Hammond, Adam Brady from Manchester, they're top snipers, but they struggle. They have struggled.
Yeah. Even the boy Wolishka coming in the and as I like to now point out, the Israeli guy, Levin as well.
Yeah.
They're kind of four main players though.
Yeah.
That are putting up points for
even like they signed Rio's goalie. They signed Alex DeBow. He's beginning to play, by the way. Over the past few weekends, DeBow's started to
I think he's calmed down a little bit now.
I think that's it. Yeah, I think he's begun to settle down. Although when he left the ice against us at Arwick, he was just an absolute dick.
Oh, was he?
Oh, he thought he was Chris Letang going off the ice with the helmet off and the hair back and giving it. Shut up, you wee fanny. You know what I mean? It was worse than Richie going off the ice.
Back to Agent Rio.
Yeah. But it's going to be a tough game, eh?
It is a tough game, especially in Nottingham. We've never really performed. Not that we've not performed well in Nottingham. We've just never came out with the result in Nottingham. But those four guys,
I thought last week we would win one game out of the weekend, which I thought was going to be Coventry at home, but here it was Coventry away. This week, the 3 games, I can't see we're winning any games, and I think we might take someone off of Fife over there, and we'll get back to Belfast. I said we would win in our 2 games, and we're no winning any of these games.
Yeah. So obviously Nottingham Wednesday. Then we come back up the road for a home game on Saturday, and then the away game on Sunday with Guildford. So a home and home again this weekend. 2 weekends in a row we've had home and home. For me, Guildford, Tedesco and Tate, third and fourth top scorers in the league. Ferguson, sixth top point scorer in the league.
Yep.
They've got three in the top 10 for top points this year. Now, I can't see past Belfast winning the league, but mathematically, Guildford can still do it, and they will be out to prove a point against us on Saturday, and then back down the road to get the 2 points again at home on the Sunday.
All Guildford have to do, and this is easier than said and done, is just keep winning games.
Yeah.
They keep winning games, they put pressure on Belfast. It's as simple as that.
Yep, and after a recent Adam Keefe meltdown, he might be feeling the pressure a little bit now.
Nah, no chance. No chance. I like that. I absolutely love that.
Aye, but
I love a coach meltdown.
As someone else said though, if that's Mason that does that, there's repercussions all over the place. He'd be banned for it. Yeah. Guaranteed he'd be banned for it. Guaranteed it.
Junior, I would go as far to say that there would be another six. Again. There'd be another 6 coaches in the league that wouldn't be allowed to do that. There'd be 4 coaches allowed to do that. Yeah. Right, and it's the top 4. Every other coach in the league would.
I would include Corey Nielsen in that. I think they'd allow Nielsen to do that.
I'm not 100% sure about that. But certainly 5 coaches would be kicked out for that. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
But
so let's go then. Predictions.
Okay. Right.
Scores.
So away in Nottingham, I'll say Nottingham will win 5-1.
Okay. Wow. Bold.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Guildford at home?
Guildford at home. Guildford will win 5-2.
Okay. Guildford away.
7-1 Guildford.
Oh, that's what I was sitting thinking, senior. So I'm saying 7-1 as well in the away game.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. For me, I think it's going to be 4-2 Nottingham. And 6-2 Guildford at home. So 0 point weekend. 0 point week, actually.
Yeah.
Come
on. I'm looking for between now and the end of the season is performances. Yeah. I've said it at the time, right? Everybody wants their team to win. But if you come out of there and you get beat for Guildford and you've gave them an absolute game of their lives, and Guildford beat you, or anybody beats you, you go, well, you know what? We just got beat by a lucky goal, or that was the changing point of the game. Just go out and lay it on the fucking line.
Yeah.
What have you got to lose?
Yeah. So with that, it brings us on this day. So we had 2 games on the 21st of March. 2015, thanks again to the Elite League website for not having goal scorers. It was a 5-3 home loss to the Edinburgh Capitals.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Yep. And in 2018, it was a 3-0 away loss to the Guildford Flames. Callie Ackred, Ben Davies and Jeff Walker with the goals there. Only games we played on the 21st of March, and we do have one birthday today. Now, senior, I'm going to put you way back here with a name.
Okay.
And I think you might even be a bit like, fuck, what's that? And you might go, oh, I mind him. Born on this day in 1989, Andreas Persson.
Oh, Swedish D-man.
Yeah, yep. Never played for long, never stayed long.
No, Swedish D-man. I thought he was actually half decent.
He was all right. Now, I'm pretty sure, I think that was the year was that not the year we had Chris Blight and everything and we finished bottom of the league that season as well?
No wonder the boy left. He's seen it coming.
Seen it coming. Look at him. Could tell the rest of
He was like that. He played half a dozen games and went, by the way, coach, these boys are shite. I'm out of here. Yeah. Andreas Persson, that's right. I remember him.
Persson, yeah.
Swedish D-man.
Yep. So
Yep.
so that is on this day. 2 games and a birthday. That's it.
There you go.
That is us for episode 53.
It's not. It's not. See, that's you being unprofessional again.
Well, I was going to put it in, but I couldn't mind how much.
You couldn't mind what we were going to put in.
No, I couldn't mind how much.
Well, we've got a few.
So you can lead it.
So
you can lead it.
Right. So we've got vouchers. We've got vouchers, right?
Competition time.
So what? Competition time, and we shall make it for the home game on Saturday against Guildford. Now, our results, our scores didn't count, Junior. Let's put that out there right away.
Because we are absolutely phenomenal at guessing the score this season.
Yes, as we've shown over the last couple of weeks. Yes. We have got a £25 voucher from the main man himself, Mr. Patrick Lockie of Don Michele Road, number 27. So we've got a £25 voucher. So let's see it. See how good you are. You all laugh at our predictions. So let's go. Score predictions for the Stars versus the Flames on Saturday night at Dundee Ice Arena. Throw them in to the view from Section C socials.
So we will put up a post, or I will put up a post.
Yeah.
Once this goes live, once we put the podcast out this week, the episode out this week, we'll put a post up. Comment on the post your goal, your score. It could be a Guildford win. It could be a Stars win. It's not just limited to if the Stars win. Put the score in. Make sure you comment on the correct thread because it'll be shared a few times, and I'm no scrolling through about 7 or 8 posts. So make sure it's on the correct thread. I'll make sure a title like that, correct thread.
So also then for the correct score, is it 60 minutes, or is it overtime, or is it even penalties? So if someone says it's 3-2, it could be 3-2 after penalty shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Right. So
better chance of getting a winner that way.
Definitely. But you're absolutely right. So if it's going to be after 60 minutes, put your score. If you think it's going to be won in overtime by 1 goal, then obviously say it's going to be after overtime. And then same with the penalty shots. Big fucking money we're talking here.
I'm just happy for them to say it at 3-2 Stars, and if it's in 3-2 in overtime, that's fine.
Okay, Doc. Up to you. You're the one that puts a post to it anyway. I'll just sit here and
shut puts a post. I'll decide. It's my job.
And then you could go your fucking full Wheel of Fortune Carol Smiley stuff.
Ooh, indeed.
And bring up the winners.
Indeed.
Okay. So again, thanks very much to Don Michele and Paddy for the voucher for that. We do have other vouchers, which we will probably put out next week's show, and we could maybe hear big in at the end of the season.
Yeah, or we might even get it on one of our player interviews in the summer.
Oh, yeah.
And on that note,
we really need to get Paddy on.
Yeah, yeah, we do. But yep, thanks again for tuning in and watching on the YouTube page, listening on your favourite streaming networks and Spotify and Apple Podcasts, especially Apple Podcasts, because that's where we get our charts for. It's got to plug the charts, have you?
Oh, you got to plug the charts, huh?
Yeah, we'll put the post up once the show's out. Get your scores in, and we will hopefully hear you and see you all at the rink on Saturday
with your party Susies.
With the party Susies. See you then.